Finally, we are made aware that a shadow resembles an island has appeared. The youngest elder and the oldest elder with the birthmark are arguing about an impossibility. That impossibility is of a devil fruit that hasn't awakened for centuries upon centuries has appeared. The youngest elder yells, "Then why would the world government bother to give that one specific devil fruit another name? It's to erase that devil fruit from the annals of history, isn't it?" Then we cut back to Wano to see Zunesha has arrived. What did you guys think about that conversation with the Gorosei? And what are your thoughts on Zunesha appearing? And we'll go with Lawrence first.
Honestly, this is a very interesting conversation. Because honestly, I don't know what they're talking about. I'm trying to think, because I feel like there's a lot of fruits that they want, right? And we already see that the world government, they have the same MO.
Yeah.
They want something, it gets out in the public, oh snap, we got to cover it up. They're like, that is their go-to. Like, you know? So it's like, what ability is it this time? Because they want so many. We talked to, and they kind of threw a bunch of abilities in the air about dragons, laws, maybe not so much, but they had Luffy's before Luffy got it. They want Bonnies. You know, so it's like there's so many fruits that they want. So which one are they talking about right now? Which one is the fruits the most? Because it means like right now to do this, maybe it's their most, in their eyes, the most valuable fruit. I'm not sure because they didn't really give much evidence. And then having Zunesha show up could be that, but the thing is, but why would they want this one? You know, maybe because it kind of shows it. How long they said Zunesha has been around? What, 8,000 years? Was it?
No, 800 years.
800 years. Maybe because, in a way, maybe with that ability, you're kind of like undying. You don't die. You're, you know, because I don't think any human that can eat that is going to live for 800 years. Yeah. So maybe they want that to experiment on. I don't know. So it could lead to that. Because I think that's the only known, that's a Zohan, I'm guessing, ability. You know? Or maybe it's not a Zohan ability. Maybe it was just an elephant that ate a different ability that grew to that size. Mm-hmm. You know? Maybe it was like a colossal ability. Like an elephant ate a colossal ability and they wanted that for whatever reason. I don't know. So it's interesting here, but it's leading to Zunesha's, but one thing is, why would they want it? How does this benefit them? Yeah. You know, because also too, honestly, the world government is mentioned that they show them, but we don't really know much of anything about the world government. We just know they have power. Yeah. We have no idea how they got there and what's their game plan, because we see the Marines more, but the world government, they're so secretive, which is actually kind of dope because like spies and secret agents, even though they don't get much light, that's basically them. Because they're behind the scenes behind the Marines. The Marines are their face. The world government's strictly work in the shadows. Yeah. So that's why we don't know much about them. So they're always plotting something, you know. So to me, it's like it's kind of up in the air, and it looks like Zunesha, but like why though? How does this fit to their power or their scheme? I think the only way to fully answer this question is they don't say it. But even with all the gameplay, we got to find out more, like kind of like what led to the world government in power. You know, we need more answers from them. Okay. What about you, Seb? What do you think?
It's funny because I asked in the chat, what's your best Zunesha theory? And the people are rolling up a bunch. Yeah. And two people said two that I have here in my phone already in my notes. Benny K says the devil fruit that they're talking about is Otama's devil fruit, and the former user of the fruit 800 years ago gave it to Zunesha and has complete control over them and punished them with the fruit. And I kind of like that one. I saw it on Grand Line's channel. I kind of like that one because it's out of the... Like, nobody was thinking of that. I wasn't thinking of that when I read it. And it still makes sense because it ties into what her fruit does. It controls animals and what they can do. And if you could control an animal this large, that's kind of crazy. Like, that's like you saw this wipe out.
She's like Shirahoshi.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if there's multiple Zuneshas walking around, but Zunesha wiped out Jack's fleet. That's a Yonko's third commander on a one swing. She can do real damage. So, like, that was one I really liked, and it ties into the fact that they were talking about a devil fruit. I don't remember what Tama's devil fruit's name is. I think Larry's looking it up now. But, like,
It's a kibi no mi.
Yeah. So maybe that's the only way she's figured out how to use it, but maybe it's called something else.
I forgot about hers.
It's possible that it's specifically like they're talking about Zunesha itself. Another theory that I had written down in my notes that I saw online was that Zunesha is Joy Boy, and he has been punished, possibly through the same means, to walk the earth for eternity. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I like that one as much as I like the Otama one.
I don't know.
But it would tie into how it's serious. The world government, because this is the Gorosei. Like, it's not world government officials. These are people who have knowledge of the history of the world that I report directly to him that are like crapping their pants because of this situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, we saw Sweat and we saw the Gandhi dude. Like, damn, like this isn't good.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something high level. Those are the two that I thought of when I was looking online because I couldn't think of anything.
Yeah.
When you asked the question, I was like, I read this chapter like 4 times and I couldn't think of anything. I thought of the Joy Boy one, but I was like, nah, because that hat was too small. You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't fit Zunisha's head, but I was like, maybe it's not Joy Boy's hat, whatever. And then it was like, maybe it is. And then I saw the Tama one, and I just think it's had such a major impact on the raid on Onigashima. And the fact that she like knocked herself out screaming a command to the people saying, help me take down Kaido. If that reached Zunisha on some like, yo, the devil fruit still has a tie on Zunisha, and she was able to command it unknowingly because she put that much energy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a lot of a stretch, it's a lot of reaches, but like, I don't know, I kind of like it. I do.
Wait.
So that was
Go back to what you said. You said,
Yeah.
Who gave the fruit to who to control?
Oh, so basically the theory is that like somebody back in the day had this fruit and used it on Zunisha to control them. Punish them for whatever they did. The punishment part is why people connected it to Joy Boy. Because it's like Joy Boy apologized for not being able to help the fishmen people on that one poneglyph. And if he's being punished for either not helping or because he was trying now, it could tie into what Zunisha's going through. Again, this is all speculative as hell. It's just like you're trying to piece the puzzle pieces together. But like, just in general, it doesn't need to be a Joy Boy thing specifically. One of them just says Joy Boy. But the Otama one is the one that I gravitated to when I was reading up on it.
That Punisher was like very Greek mythology-esque, like Zeus punishing the Titans and making them carry a filling on their back.
And in like Hindi lore, I think, or Hindi mythology, that there is a giant elephant, or is it Greek? There is a giant elephant.
It's a Hindu.
It's Hindu, yeah. There's a giant elephant that carries the world on its back, which when I saw Zoth the first time, I was like, oh, it's a reference to that. If there's more to that story, maybe that'll tell us the answer. But I don't know it personally, so.
All right, so there's a couple good things that you guys mentioned, to be honest. For me, let me just start with the Gorosei conversation. I was really surprised to see that the youngest Gorosei was didn't know of things that the older Gorosei knew about. So it got us to a perspective that now there's a hierarchy in the Gorosei that I didn't think that was there before. I thought that they were all equal footing.
Yeah.
But now there isn't one because the youngest one was like, questioning the world government itself, which means that he's probably not in it as much as I thought. And I thought that was so interesting because we just learned something about the Gorosei. So there's a hierarchy. There's information being kept from
Even them.
Yeah.
Or
with
him
each other.
specifically, yeah.
So that's crazy in itself. To go to Zunisha appearing, I'm glad I called it.
Yeah,
because I'm right.
I'm mad. I forgot to do that. I wanted to give you your credit on the chat, on the show. If y'all
For everybody to be saying I got hot takes and they don't be good takes, guess what? I called something right twice in Wano.
More
Let's go.
importantly than Zunisha showing up, Larry called this moment months ago. I want to say like May, when we first started the channel. And it's rare for Larry to be this right.
No,
this
I'm
hard.
always right.
So
Everybody in the chat knows I'm right. Everybody.
But yeah, he called it though.
So,
He did.
to go to the Zunisha part, and when they were talking about the fruit, right? It goes, then why would the world government bother to give that one specific devil fruit another name? It's to erase the devil fruit from the annals of history, isn't it? I think this is us seeing Zunesha is another mythical Zoan. Like we seen the mythical Zoan of Buddha with Sengoku, right? We're seeing this one from the Hindi mythology of the elephant. And the elephant does walk across the ocean. I think that it is somebody from 800 years ago, but they were only controlled by people who have the voice of all things. And the reason why it can't be Tama is because Tama's ability doesn't work on Zoan natural users. It only works on the Smile Devil Fruit users who have animal-like characteristics. So it doesn't work on actual Zoan users. That's to that point. So that crushes that theory.
Is that been confirmed yet?
Yeah, it says it right here on
Has she tried to use it on a Zohan that wasn't an artificial one?
It says it is unknown if these dangos can affect eaters of faulty smiles, but it is known that they do not work on natural Zoan users.
It doesn't work, or it just hasn't.
It doesn't work.
Hasn't done
and
yet.
the reason why it also doesn't work, even if that information wasn't present, is because when Zunesha talked to Momonosuke, Zunesha asked Momonosuke to command her to do something.
That's true.
So if that is possible, that would directly be a contradiction to Tama's ability. So that can't work. So I think that also the reason why Zunesha is here is because Zunesha was called by Momonosuke on accident. When Momonosuke was having those headaches, and he was on that Shinobu's lap, I think, or Yamato's lap, and he was experiencing it, that's when I knew, like, the only other time we've ever seen him do that is when Zunesha was nearby or coming, or he was in contact with Zunesha. That's why I said Zunisha's coming. But I also thought Zunesha was going to carry the island. But I think Momonosuke is going to do that now.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting that the Gorosei are talking about this fruit is because they do have certain fruits that they have in mind that they've kept in their books that they go, hey, these are dangers to our existence, to our ruling. We have to be aware of these fruits. Now, to have that fruit itself be hidden or given another name, like Zunesha, instead of like what it actually is, they're definitely talking about Zunesha. Let's get that one. I think it's 100% about Zunesha. I do think because of what Sebastian said, Zunesha was able to take out islands by itself. It was able to take out a third rank commander with ease. It can destroy anything. If somebody has the voice of all things and brought Zunesha to Marie Joa, they would destroy Marie Joa. If a vice admiral, if they can take on Zunesha's trunk, you know, which I expect they should, would destroy Marie Joa, like easily. It is comprehensible to say that it's comparable to Shirahoshi's ability. It's like 20% of being Poseidon at this point. But if whoever has the voice of all things, which could be many people, unlike Poseidon being one person, this is kind of more of a danger because this is more accessible than Poseidon is controlling sea kings. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they're saying like we had to give this another name. We had to erase this from the history books just because we don't want this information to get out because then people want to learn about it and then they know about it and then it becomes a danger. So it's Zunesha 1. Otama has no effect on this. And this is like a mini Poseidon, which we all said when we first saw Momonosuke do this. We were like, yo, he's not Uranus. I think Uranus is something completely different as well. He's not Uranus. Uranus has to do something with observation. I'm convinced. But this is very Poseidon-like, bro.
Yo, honestly, thinking about like it might be Zunesha because thinking about it too, I started thinking how, like I said, Fister purpose and how valuable this is. 800 years. Imagine like they want it and they were able to, for example, replicate it like they did Kaido's ability, right? So now you have other. Obviously, they don't all have to be elephants or whatever. Because I don't know if it's the thing makes you an elephant or the elephant ate it. I don't know exactly that, but just say like for example, it is an elephant or a mammoth. You have a bunch of these walking around, and you put marine bases on all of them. This is how they control the seas.
Yo, you want to hear something crazier?
Oh, wow.
You want to hear something crazier? If Vegapunk replicated the mythical elephant fruit and had like 6 of them, and then they had like a voice of all things user on their side, That's Poseidon.
You think it's the equivalent of Poseidon?
It would be close enough to Poseidon. It's not Poseidon overall because there's so many sea kings,
honestly,
right? Like the Poseidon could take the calm belt and make it a
there's
weapon.
There's a couple leaps in not logic, but like expectation of what people can do there. But you're right. But like, we don't know if it's only Momo that can do this. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
we
would
expect,
they have to get
hold on.
Momo?
We expect. No, I'm saying if there's other people like Odin was one, Roger is one, Luffy's one, like Momo's one. Like if they had somebody on the government side, just apparently they have their own little Poseidon. It would be a diluted form, but even the pacifistas are a diluted form of what Kizaru is. Because imagine if Vegapunk replicated these devil fruits, like I said before.
The Sea Kings aren't this big, though. Are they? Are they as big as Zunesha?
I want to say yes.
You remember that zebra one that the One Piece
yes.
ship was on? I mean, the Goemari was on? It was near it, but the thing is, right? Even if it's not as big as Zunesha, we've seen Zunesha take damage on its legs from the Kaido pirates, the Beast Pirates, when Jack was there. Imagine a calm belt of Sea Kings attacking Zunesha. Yeah. She wouldn't stand a chance.
She wouldn't.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You get what I'm saying?
But like 50 Zunesha. No,
that's what I was getting at before about like them replicating this. Because I'm thinking about, you know how first I thought of like an army of this. You put marine bases on top of them.
That too.
And then they just roam whatever.
Lawrence, you got to think bigger. An army of Zuneshas could possibly destroy the Red Line.
It would be
like it could be that level of like different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So Attack on Titan, the biggest power is the rumbling. So on Attack on Titan, Eren is able to summon all these colossal titans and make them walk through the earth. It's called the rumbling.
Yeah.
If that happens, they would stomp over everything on earth. It's the most dangerous weapon on Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Zunesha's replicated can do that.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get. Like,
crazy.
Yo, weird. With marine base on that, so you have like an army on top of that to... I think
it'd be like the Germa 666.
Yeah, but instead of this giant snails,
oh my gosh,
pretty much giant Unisys just roaming around.
So I think that everybody wants it to be a little bit too convoluted. I think everybody's making it too complicated. If my reading comprehension is correct, we seen them talk about this fruit, and then Zunesha immediately appeared after.
Yeah.
That has to be in reference to Zunesha. It can't be to Tama. Tama is nowhere even in the chapter.
Yeah,
for that to be said. So it's just people picking, wanting to make it interesting, but overall I think that.
No, you're probably right.
Yeah.
And it makes sense, like you said.
But the thing is, the one thing I'm worried about is the same thing I worry about Toki, where Toki's able to break the show with her being from the voice entry and being able to give us information that we may not want in a certain way. And I think that if they took Zunesha and Zunesha offered that information, please do not tell me all of the information. Tell me something little and have it in some way have Laugh-Tale tell me it. Because
I am shocked you said that.
Well, it's because I want
him of all people.
Well, I want One Piece to be great.
Yeah.
Like I want One Piece to satisfy my curiosity and to satisfy the lore of One Piece. If I'm given that, the same way Usopp asked Rayleigh what One Piece was, and Luffy goes, Usopp-kun! And he yelled at him.
Yeah.
I would do that to Zunesha. You know what I'm saying? So
that's how I feel about Yamato.
Anyway, those are all the questions I have for today. If you can, Marv, can you put up the number, and we're gonna have